How we doing today? Let's get into this. I had to get in my feels this morning and then get the fuck out. Um, y'all, today has been an interesting day, y'all, and it's not even 1 p.m. yet. I want to start this live by saying I'm grateful for all of y'all. I really want to start telling you guys how grateful I am for all of you guys, because without you, I wouldn't be fucking nothing. Without God, I wouldn't be nothing either. And so I just want you guys to know I'm appreciative towards you, and I created this community for you guys and for us, for a safe fucking place. How you doing, Mila? How you doing, John? I wanted you guys to have a safe place to always come when things aren't going right in your world. Let's get into it. Last night, yo, I made a mistake. Ooh, I made a mistake. I wish it was a different mistake, but I made a mistake. And I can honestly own up to my mistake. How you doing, Hillary? Hear me, y'all. I made a mistake last night with allowing someone to get into my energy. So bad that I was angry. I was so angry last night, y'all. I was so angry. And I luckily, and it's funny because I actually caught myself and I gave myself 10 minutes. And I was like, okay, I'm out of it. But I made the mistake of allowing a person to get to me for 10 minutes. And I mean, I was so angry. I was so angry, y'all. And then I realized that I had to sit with that anger to ask myself, what am I angry about? This person disrespected me on so many different levels. He lied on me. And I allowed it to get to me. And then I went back and I asked myself, Charlie, why are you so upset if you know that it's not the truth? If you know it's just a game, if you know it's just an NPC trying to get into your energy, why are you so upset, Charlie? You've been doing good for so long. Charlie, when is the last time you've really been angry? And I said, you know what? I haven't. I haven't. I've created a community, I've created a life, I've created a reality where I don't have people around me that make me angry. I created a reality and a life of people that support me. I created a reality and a life, and I'm so grateful for this shit, that I don't have people that constantly try to trigger me and trigger my anger. And honestly, then I started thinking, I was like, damn, well shit, how deep is your anger, Charlie? Because that was just a text message. Do you really have control over your feelings? And I was like, I do. I want you guys to understand something. Sometimes we make mistakes of allowing other people to be in our energy, but it's on us to get them out. As soon as you realize that they are an enemy. I used this analogy a few weeks back about a kingdom, about you guys being queens and kings, and not what the media gives you guys, not how they try to brag you guys up. What I mean is that a lot of you guys have a lot of protection over your lives, have a protection over your lives that y'all don't even know about. And I want to call your attention to you actually thinking about every person that has entered into your life, new or old. If you think about it, when they came into your space, no matter what luck they had, no matter where they were at in life, didn't they leave your space feeling a little bit better? Maybe their luck turned all the way around. Maybe they realized all the attacks just stopped. The reason why I'm giving this example again is because, well, what happens when this person that's in your kingdom, that's in your protection, does a hate crime that actually is a war. It's like they put you at war with other people, or they put you at war within yourself. Well, that, my friend, I feel like is an act of treason. And I want you guys to hear me really quickly. When people do things such as trigger your anger on purpose, it's different if they don't know any better. But if they say something that's disrespectful to you to get a reaction out of you, or they say something that hurts your feelings to make you cry to get a reaction out of you, that is an act of fucking war to me. It's a war within the mind, and I take that as an offense. You got to get out of my fucking kingdom. You have to get out of my shit. You have to. You can't be protected by me. Matter of fact, I call back my protection from all the people that have wished me harm. Yeah. I call back all my forces and all my energy from those that intentionally or unintentionally harm me. They're no longer protected by me, ancestor spirit teams. You already know. The reason why I'm doing this on live, y'all, and I waited, was because I had to realize that, and sometimes it happens, people enter into our spaces and all we got to do is rub their little shoulder. And it's like, you're blessed. That's how powerful y'all are. Hear me. Hillary, we talking. Audrey, we talking in this. All you have to do, all I got to do is have a conversation with you, and you cool. But when you try me, I don't have to do no witchcraft, or I don't have to speak out against you. And I almost spoke out against this young man, trying to defend myself. And then I realized, God, you taught me this whole season, this whole last year, that I don't have to defend myself, because I know who I am, and I know that I'm not a liar, and I know I'm a very honest person, and I know, and I own up to my mistakes. When I do make mistakes, I do. I tell the whole truth, even when it hurts, even when it makes Charlie look bad, and honestly, perception of bad, just depends, because honestly, I don't feel like anything I've did was bad. I just feel like sometimes it's just not favoring other people's opinions or favoring other people's feelings. Point of the matter is that I acknowledge that, though, and I even try to make it right, and I even try to apologize, but I'm not going to beat myself down just because I hurt your fucking feelings. Sorry. So, I want you guys to start calling back your protection from people that are intentionally putting you at harm, that are intentionally trying to create acts of war against your mind, or against or literally they could just be going out and picking, literally y'all could have a friend that goes out to a fucking party and they just picking problems with people. That's putting me at fucking war, because now I gotta defend you because you in my kingdom. It's different if people come to us, but you actively doing that? No, just because you're under my protection? No, baby. But what happens when these people get banished out of your fucking kingdom? What happens? What happens when you don't protect these people? What happens when it's just like, and it's not even, it's just like, listen, you just can't be you can't be in my wavelength. You can't be here with me. What happens? Then they don't have the king's or the queen's seal no more. They don't got the signature. They don't have that. Is free for all for everybody, and they figure that shit out. They got to create their own kingdom. They didn't want to live under you, because if they wanted to live under you, they would have acted right. And honestly, it wasn't even a thing about acting right. It was more so just treating you with the kindness that you treated them with. Them being honest and nice and caring, just like you're caring and kind and honest. That's all. So point of the matter is y'all, I wanted to call your attention to that, because some of you guys could be going through emotions, going through feels. Now let's get into the second topic of this day, yo, because the second thing that I have to come and talk to you guys about is about choices. Okay, You guys are entering into another yet big fucking choice. And I know that a lot of you guys is like, Charlie, I just made a choice. I literally just chose where I'm about to live. I just chose my person. I just chose what I'm doing next. Well, now we got another big decision to make again. This is this thing called life, y'all. And I want you to hear me. This thing called life is about you choosing left and right. It's like literally God is like, here's a wishbone. Do you want to just crack it open? See if you're going left, see if you're going right. Like, that is what life is about. And I feel like a lot of you guys are entering into another big decision. And a lot of you guys need to take time with this decision. I keep hearing 3 days. Take 3 days and then make your decision. Allow God to show you all possibilities. Don't limit yourself this time, though. I want you guys to know something, that this next decision is your decision and your decision only. You cannot consult anybody about this decision. You have to go inwards. And if you want to tell people after you made your decisions, then cool. But you make your decision. A lot of you guys are going to get text offers. A lot of you guys are going to sit over here and get offers from jobs. A lot of you guys are going to get fucking relationships offers, home offers. Like literally, you guys take it. And you choose what's best for you. And the only way that you guys can actually choose what's best for you is by you guys actually looking at, well, where do you want your life to be? If it's a roommate situation, ask yourself, when you're around that person, do you have good luck? Or do you see that your sources and your resources are taken away from you? That should determine your health. That should determine your answer right there. If you want to factor in their feelings, then okay, cool. But I'd say if it's a win for you, then guess what? It's a win for them, because you guys are angels and blessings anyway. If it is a choice between job and job, well, you have to ask yourself, are you willing to take a pay cut? For the sake of job security? Or are you willing to trust in God and go where God guides you? Because a lot of you guys, and what I mean is a lot of you guys, if it's between a job, you're so used to where you're currently working because, you know, job security, there's a whole bunch of things going on in the world. There's shortages here, there's shortages here. But you guys know that in your own reality that there is no shortages. If you choose not to have a shortage, you know in your own reality that you guys have exactly what you need. In your reality, you know that if you really want to make more money, you can. I don't talk to people that limit their minds or limit their beliefs or limit their resources. You guys just have to get creative. And God might be putting you guys in a season of starting to get creative with your ideals on how, if you really want to earn money, it's like, okay, well, let's get a little bit creative. What can we, and it's not about sacrificing. It's about what can we put our energy into. It's working smarter, not harder. But a lot of you guys are not taking those necessary steps because, one, you're following the wrong people that are trying to keep you in the rat race society. Nothing wrong with those people. That's just their reality. If that's your reality that you choose to be in, then cool. Work there until you need to get out. Or work there until, if that's what you're called to do. Shit, I can't really tell you that either. But the point of the matter is that I want you guys to understand something. Have a plan. And I'm not saying you have to get greedy with your plan. No. I'm saying be realistic. You know what you like. If you like nice shit, then you need to be able to afford nice shit. If you're okay with having 3 shirts and 3 pants, then all right, you might not need that much money. If you're a minimalist, if you're extremist, embody who the fuck you guys are. There's nothing wrong with anything. Just fucking love you and move accordingly to that. The next thing is you choosing maybe between keeping a baby and not keeping a baby. Some of the things you need to factor in, because y'all pregnancy has been popping up like crazy. Maybe some of the things you need to factor in is, you know, do you want to do it with this partner? If all else fails and things go sour, God forbid, but can you do it? Can you do it? Do you trust in yourself? Do you trust in your partner? Are you ready to have a kid? I always like to think that God places obstacles, and maybe if you guys are pregnant, maybe you think a baby is an obstacle, but I like to challenge your way of thinking. The reason being is because sometimes a baby could be exactly what it is that you need in order for your next journey. Some of you guys could be hardcore. Maybe some of you guys need to get softened. Maybe some of you guys are mean and you're just in your masculinity, and maybe a baby might soften your ass because maybe you need to learn balance, yin and yang, add some femininity to your taste. No matter if you're a masculine watching me, that's you too. You have to learn how to be not just masculine but feminine too. And to my feminines that's actually within their masculinity, it's time for you to stop being alone. So I just want to open up the perspective of you have options. I can't tell you why not, because if you don't keep it, then potentially, you know, you might be able to accept more offers than prior before, you know? But who knows? Why limit yourself? That's only if you think that way. If you choose to hang around other parents and they view parenthood as terrible, then guess what? You're going to view parenthood as terrible. But what happens if you meet people that actually enjoy being parents and actually get paid more for being parents than being by themselves? The very few that actually embody parenthood. What if you were placed into this world and because God is like heavy emphasis on the woman, because God wants me to include everybody, like everybody. It's even within adoption. Maybe you're in the same-sex marriage. Why not? I have to include everybody. You're included in this world. It doesn't matter what you look like. It doesn't matter what you identify as. It doesn't matter what you believe in. It does not matter. I say that all the time. It's about you guys being able to know that you're not meant to be alone. Nobody's meant to be alone. So sometimes God puts those crazy ideals. Let's go adopt a kid. Let's go have a kid. Or maybe a kid just pops the fuck up with no plan. You really have to ask, like, God, are you trying to ask me well, maybe God is trying to ask you to take in another spiritual soul, because there's not a lot of people that's like you, that has your gifts. Matter of fact, there's a lot of dying people. There's a lot of people that's dying out with their spirit gifts. Maybe they're asking you to bring it in. And it's funny because I was watching this show on Netflix prior to getting on here, because I was soaking in my sadness this morning. But then I bounced the fuck out of it because I was like, you know what? Let's get back on our Zoom. But it was Living with the Walter Boys. And the mom had said something that touched me, and I was like, that's it. That's the message. She said, listen, I was adopted. And she was like, you know, she said, I spent all my life trying to find my family. And she was like, but I ended up creating my family. And I think that that's what's significant is that you guys are entering into a timeline where it's like, what family do you want? Do you want your old family or your new family? Maybe you could have both. But I'm hearing you guys are being urged to create your own reality of the people that will support you. And that's what we are. Of the people that's going to inspire you. That's what you are. And of the people, no matter if you make a left choice or a right choice, we're going to have your back no matter what. Because guess what? That's what we're here for. You guys are in that period, in that timeline of having the support that you guys give to others. And that's why we all relate. We don't relate because we fake ass bitches. We relate because we all know that we know what it feels like to be alone, and we don't want to feel alone again. We go through real life and we see real life for what it is, but it's like we also know that we're trying to get out of the reality of being stuck or like struggling and stuck and stagnant. We realize that we are trying to reach our goals. We realize that if we follow the fucking direction and follow the flow, then the flow, we're rewarded for following the flow. We're rewarded for being in a receiving energy. We're rewarded for not going back and making the same mistakes. We're rewarded. We're rewarded for seeing that sometimes things could look, and I want you to hear me, sometimes things can look like a mistake. Things can look like it's the same, but honestly, it could be something very differently. And it's funny because in that show, she had moved from New York to Colorado, and she had a different swap. She went from city girl to country girl. And I think that that's significant. Some of you guys are being required to do a big swap, but the symbolism of her uncle coming back into her life and saying, hey, you know, you can come back to, I thought about it, I can get custody of you. You can come back to New York. And one thing that girl said was, well, I don't really know what my reality or what my life would look like in New York anymore. Not without my family. And her parents passed away in a car crash, I think. So I want you guys in this next part of your life, this next major decision that's here, you're always going to have to make decisions, but this one is on you, and only solely for you. Do you want to go back to New York, to what you're used to the life that, you know, that technically provided you a comfort once upon a time ago? Or do you want to move forward in a new experience and trust in? Some of you guys are already here in this experience, in this life. Do you want to continue to see what this is about? Do you want to, like, this new experience God is embarking that maybe it's not all highs. Maybe there's a few lows. Might be kicking your ass. It might be very challenging, guys. But are you choosing comfort, or are you choosing new friendships? I met a girl yesterday when I was out eating lunch. I went to go work out, and then I went and ate some lunch. And it's funny because I was just looking for a table, and I was trying to decide if I wanted to eat outside or if I wanted to eat inside. And I was just talking to myself like normal Charlie does, right? And she was like, excuse me? And I was like, I'm so sorry. I talk to myself all the time. I wasn't talking to you. She was like, oh, I do that all the time. And then we chatted. And then we chatted a little bit later when she came to my table. And she had 777 tatted on her. She was like, it's because I have 3 7s in my birthday. And it reminded me of my friend, because that day prior, he had told me that he had 3 7s in his birthday. And she told me, she was like, you know, I don't even know how we got on this conversation, but she was talking about drinking tequila with her friends. And she was like, I'm just a crier. She was like, every time I just start crying. And I said, and I thought to myself, like, you're a really good person. I know a lot of the times we, and something else before I touch on that. She was telling me, she was just like, I'm an empath. She was like, you know, in my life, I'm not really going through anything. She was like, but I try to be here for other people because I know that they're going through other things, and I feel their energy. And when we're drinking, she was like, you know, she's like, I just feel it just harder. And they know me now, so they know I'm gonna cry. But then I thought 2 things. One thing, I was glad that she was there for all her friends. She was an angel, making sure that all the people that was going through really tough times were watched over. She was taking their energy and releasing it through crying. But then I asked myself, I said, but is she releasing her own energy? Because nobody is truly going through nothing. And that's how I know who I'm supposed to work with versus who I'm not supposed to work with. Because a lot of you angels, I always call you guys angels. A lot of you guys are tasked out there in this world. And maybe you might sit over here and say, listen, I don't want to be the CEO. I'm okay working at this shit. A lot of you guys are tasked with talking to people that go through things. You're tasked with dealing with people that have so much sorrow and they don't know how to release their sorrow. And honestly, you absorb their sorrow. But now God is saying, now it's time for you guys to release it. Have you guys ever talked to somebody and after you talked to somebody, you felt really heavy? A lot of readers like to say that it's sometimes it's a spiritual attack. And in those moments, when you don't know how to protect yourself, it might come off as that. But a lot of you guys are empaths, and you guys have the power and the ability to observe people's energy. And a lot of people like to say, well, you can alchemize it and use it for your greater good, which you can. But if you don't feel like it, you could just release it to God. And if you notice, after they're done talking to you, they feel a lot better, right? Some of you guys, that's your job. And I know that it sounds, and that's a confirmation. Pets, dog barks could be your confirmation. You sing birds could be your confirmation. Some of you guys are literally tasked with removing the energy from other people and giving it back to God, or using it for your own creation if you really want to. But God will only allow you guys to create good shit, not bad shit. Always remember that. Because if you misuse that power, then you will be punished, which is called karma. The point of the matter is that a lot of you guys, the last step that you fail to truly realize is the releasing part of it. See, a lot of you guys were taught from early on about burdens. A lot of you guys were taught from early on how to take on other people's baggage, and a lot of you guys just did it because you were naturally caring. But God is literally just giving me this download, and I didn't even know we were going to be here. But God is like, you have to know this. You guys learned how to embody and how to care about other people and to take on their stresses, but it's time for you to release them. And you only show up for them when they need you. And God will tell you when they need you. It's reminding me of this time I had tried Adderall. And y'all, I know y'all are gonna be like, bitch, what? Yes, it was years back though, but I tried it one time. And y'all know Charlie keep it a bean with y'all. I don't lie to y'all about shit, okay? Hear me. I remember that time I had took just half of a pill. And I remember I was out with a friend, and it was a group of us, and we were out and we were just doing a whole bunch of things. We did Top Golf, and we took it at Top Golf. I remember it, and it was cool. It was cool vibes. And then I think we went to go watch the game because he was big in sports and stuff like that. All of us are big in sports. And then we ended up going from there to like this hookah lounge. And then we were like, we're not feeling it. So I took the other half. And I remember that I seen my friend, like he was fine until he wasn't fine. And I was like, okay, time to go. And if you ever been on any pills, you know, you start leaning. Different pills do different things to different people. But the reason why I'm telling you this is because I saw my friend and I caught my friend. And he was rolling like shit, but I was just like, okay, let's go. And I remember because he was in town, all of his friends were in town visiting, so I took him up to the room. And I remember we stood up that whole time, and I remember we just talked that whole night, that whole fucking night. And I realized that was him releasing, and I didn't realize that just until now. We talked about life. We talked about everything. We talked about love. We talked about previous things. And he was or I think he still does real estate. But we just talked. Wasn't even no funny business. We just talked. And it's like sometimes you guys, we just need to talk and get shit out of us in order to form, in order to heal each other. Talking is a form of healing, you guys. Some of you guys have been told that you are natural healers. sometimes it doesn't really require physical touch. Now notice, y'all, if we vibing today, put a 444 in the chat. Is we okay today? Sorry, y'all. I'm getting these downloads off because God is over here just speaking through me today, okay? Now, okay, we good. All right, babe. I just wanted to check in. I just wanted to make sure you guys was okay. Now, and it's funny that God had me mention that experience, because I want y'all to hear me. Don't ever be afraid to try nothing. A lot of people like to judge you. A lot of people like to sit over here and make you guys seem like the bad guy for wanting to try stuff. And y'all, I was the type of person, I was raised like, you know, I tried weed at a young age, y'all. But when I was young, I didn't really care for alcohol. I remember the first drink I ever drank was some fucking gin, and I hated it. I hated it so bad. Fucking gin. I still won't touch that shit to this day. The second thing was wine, and I hated wine, but I love wine now. But I never touched hardcore shit because I was never called to until later on. But the reason why I'm talking about this today, guys, is because I feel like God is sitting over here saying, I don't want you to be afraid of trying things, because some things actually are for an experience. I tried, and granted, y'all, be careful with this advice, because some of you guys do have addictive personalities. I don't. When I tried Addy, I only tried it that one time years ago, and I never tried it again. I tried ecstasy before too. I think I did that twice, maybe 3 times. Very interesting experience. I tried shrooms before. Very interesting experience. Point of the matter is that doesn't mean that my faith is any different. I like to drink wine. That doesn't mean that God is going to shame me. And I think that that's why God told me that I have to come out and I have to talk to you guys about my experiences, because a lot of the times we're shamed for trying shit because we're fucking, like, what were we put on this earth to do? Just to sit over here and just be in our shell? We're supposed to try shit. Now, of course, if the shit doesn't, if it's not our shit, it's not our shit. Of course, it's not placed to get addicted, but I do think that you guys have to, if it's not drugs, if you're just like, yo, big dog, that's not my thing, okay, but you still have to be like that with activities. Go try a new activity. Go try tennis. Go try volleyball. Go try soccer. Like, I think go try painting, learning how to fucking make pots and shit. The reason why I'm speaking about this, y'all, is because a lot of people, they want to act like they're innocent and hide their hands. They want to act like they're innocent, but in reality, those are the worst people. They want to act like they don't have any past. It's reminding me of this person. He kept telling me, the past doesn't matter. The past doesn't matter. It's only current. But when some current shit happened, now all of a sudden the past matters. The hypocrisy. I should text him that. Like, in another thing. No, I'm just kidding. I'm off it. But on a serious note, guys, we're not placed on this earth to make everybody fucking like us. And if you think that you're going to make everybody like you, I mean, shit, you might. Some of y'all have the energy to the point, and honestly, I think I embody this energy where it's like either you love me or you hate me so much because you do love me. There is no in between. Because how can you hate Charlie? Charlie just says the truth. And even if you want to come on here and you want to argue with Charlie about other experiences, we can do that. Maybe that could be arranged one day. But you don't have to watch my shit if you don't like me. Point of the matter is y'all, I don't pay attention to energies that judge me. I don't pay attention to people that don't like me. I don't pay attention. They don't exist to me. I think everybody likes me. And honestly, somebody probably would classify that as maybe narcissism. I don't think I'm a narcissist though. I don't know. Maybe I should look into that. Ooh, classify. Let me go diagnose myself really quickly. Nah, let me stop talking shit, y'all. On a serious note though, y'all, I really do love myself a lot, and I really am teaching you guys how to love yourself and accept yourself for all your flaws. That's why I talk about things that nobody talk about. Talk about abortion, talk about pills, talk about drugs, talk about fucking you choosing the wrong person. Shit, we can talk about fucking the mistakes your mom made or your dad made. We can talk about all that shit. Point of the matter is that, yo, this is what real life looks like. It's experiences. It's choosing sometimes what you think is right, but in reality you be like, I shouldn't have went there. And I thought that this was gonna turn out better. But you know what I'm learning, guys, is that a lot of people, if you know, you know, hear me, y'all. Real recognize real, and I'm gonna say that every time. Real people can hear honesty, the fake people can't. Real people can hear honesty and be like, and not like quench their pearls. The people that's quenching their pearls is just sad that they are wishing that they could say the same shit. So I say it for everybody, okay? Channel for collective. Yeah, a lot of you guys are going through tower moments in your life because you are being required to choose between living on the wild side and living on the safe side. Which side do you want to choose? And I think that that's the biggest thing is that there is no wrong choices. There's always a time and a place. Even if you go and you say you're going to do something and it's like, something else came up. Something is more of a priority than the other thing. There's nothing wrong with that. It's funny because Jazz had texted me and she was like, she's like, when did you do a movie night? And I was going to do it last night, but I was like, my energy wasn't in a place to do movie night. And then I started thinking like, shit, how the fuck am I about to do movie night? And I was like, you're overthinking it too much. So maybe I'll do it tonight. I need to go grab some popcorn. Point of the matter is that you have decisions to make, y'all. And it's funny because she was like, which movie? She didn't even say what happened. She said, which movie is you choosing? That's how you hold somebody accountable. And I think that that's what this community is about. And honestly, y'all, it's not just about here. It's about your everyday lives too. Because I know y'all see me once, twice a fucking day. But it's like, in your everyday lives, do you have people that hold you accountable? And if you don't have physical people, just know we physical people, we just in another state over, another country over, maybe shit in another city over for some of us. But I think that the biggest thing is that you guys are starting to come out of this energy of playing it safe, of not getting upset when people hold you accountable, of not being in avoidance, of acceptance more so. Of it's okay if I want to eat that fucking cheesecake. Who the fuck cares if I said I'm about to go lose some weight tomorrow? Who, like, of drinking wine because guess what? Fucking, I like wine. I want you guys to understand something though. In this energy of you guys going, a lot of people like to say it's escapism. But you're not escaping this time. See, in the past, you guys would escape. In the past, you would run away from your fears, run away from your problems, run away from the things that, you know, you didn't know how to solve. The thing that's different that I'm teaching you to do is we're not running away from our problems. We're just placing ourselves in better environments to have a safe place to solve those problems. It's different when you're around somebody and you can actually open up and be honest and have a safe space of to be vulnerable about all the bad shit, all the bullshit that you've been through, all the things that you don't dispose of. Like, it's different when when you're in a safe space opening up versus if you're in a hostile environment that's always constantly trying to attack you, attack every decision you make, every thought that you make, always trying like, I just keep hearing shut up and let me talk energy. It could be within partnership, it could be within your family, it could be friendships. They don't hear you. And I feel the need to say, if they don't hear you, it's not your job to force them to make y'all hear you. And I think that that's the biggest thing is that a lot of you guys are learning that, listen, it's not that I'm running away from my problems. No, I just don't feel comfortable enough to reveal my problems to you. Because every time I do, you like to contradict it. And it's not about you. It's not about you speaking my problems back to me. I actually need help solving this shit. That's the difference. And if you're not going to be proactive, you just want to justify how you took no part in the problem and how truly it is me that is just the problem, then, well, I gotta go converse with like-minded individuals that can actually help me solve a problem. Solve the way that I feel, that can actually acknowledge that how I feel is valid. So I can actually get to a place of peace instead of being triggered. And it's funny because last night I started this live by saying I made a mistake about being angry, but I realized that I just did one slip up of allowing somebody a little too close. And honestly, it kind of, in this moment, y'all, is giving me kind of confirmation, damn, I did a really good job this past year of not really getting angry, of not letting slip ups happen that often. I did a really good job of actually being accountable. And I think that that's the biggest thing is that if you're not in a safe environment to be able to even acknowledge that, well then baby, what are you doing? If you're not in an environment to even acknowledge that, damn, I am making progress. Because, guys, I don't expect for your anger issues, your sadness, your depression to go away overnight. I don't. But I do expect for you to put yourself in an environment that you can eventually get there. So one day you wake up and be like, you know what? I ain't been angry in a whole fucking year. I'm doing something right. Maybe some of y'all shit is drinking as, I don't gotta have a glass of wine every fucking day. Only on social occasions. I'm doing something alright. Maybe you just, for y'all, it's like, bitch, I just want one for the weekend. That's alright. I'm only eating that cheesecake instead of going home and eating in the middle of the night. I'm only doing it when the sun is up. Steps in. And maybe once a week I might eat in the middle of the night. Maybe once. I'll give that to me. That's good to me, y'all. And I think that you guys need to find middle grounds for you guys in the process of you guys coming out of this hellhole, because a lot of you guys are expecting balance to be restored in your life instantaneously. And it's like, baby, this is steps. You're telling me that all these years, 20, 30 years, however long y'all been alive, y'all have been depressed, y'all have been in an environment that was chaotic, you have been around karmic people, you have been around manipulated people, you have been around people that was not supportive of you, that belittled you, that made you feel certain type of ways, and you're expecting for it to change overnight, and you get mad at yourself when it doesn't. That's unrealistic. And God is telling me to tell you guys, stop being unrealistic. It's time to be realistic. And that's why you guys are here today. The point of the matter is because Dree, we're talking. Now that we are realistic and now that we want to set realistic goals, what is a safe environment that we could place you in order to start really working on this shit? And a lot of you guys are creating that space already, baby. So that question is only for the people that feel that they are not in a safe environment. How can we get you there? I know a lot of you guys are like, well, Charlie, the finances ain't financing right now. Well, how can we put you in a situation where we can get you there? Because sometimes God has you in an environment only temporarily, for you to really feel your shit, and then you go. Or maybe it's because you need to go volunteer somewhere and meet somebody, and it's like, then they volunteer their home to you. Or maybe they're like, hey, listen, I could do 40% off your rent because I know you're struggling. When you enter into safe environments with people and you tell people what you guys have going on in your reality, when you tell people that, listen, I'm alone on this journey and I'm trying to figure out my people, and you open up, you guys, that is what rewards you guys. That's what brings you balance and peace of mind, but that's what attracts more like-minded people that want to help just like you guys help when you were in positions to help. But there will be moments where you're not. There will be moments like now that you guys are struggling, and maybe it might not be financially. Maybe it might be mentally. Allow people to help you. Because there are some people that are a little bit more advanced, and maybe it's like they still have their own things to work on. So I'm not going to say perfect, because I don't think none of us are perfect. But it's like, allow us to help you get to a place of peace of mind. Allow for guidance. But you have to trust that guidance and trust that you're being guided in the right direction, because if you take the wrong advice, then you might end up exactly where you ended up, where you were raised. And once you realize that the environments and the people that you were around, and God is like, use the war analogy. Everybody in your surrounding is putting you at war. Well, then it's time for you to leave. But before you leave, reassess where you're going. Reassess the plan. And a lot of you guys, God only wants you guys to just ask for, to be in a pure environment, to be in a safe environment, to not have to worry, to not have to argue. Things that's not full of hostility. God doesn't even want you to sit over here and really be like, what area? What, like, God, I just feel like God is like, I'm going to place you exactly where I'm going to take you away from all this chaotic energy. I'm going to place you in a community around people, around just energies that's actually going to align and help you push further. Now, let's switch gears. I want to do a future reading. I'm going to allow the energy to come in when it needs to come in. I put on this sound, y'all, and it's for insomnia, removing depression, removing anxiety. And I believe there was one more, and to relax. Some of you guys could be suffering with that right now. Some of you guys could just be anxious about actually making a decision. But I just feel the need to tell you guys, just relax, take the urge off. And understand that it's going to come to you exactly when you need to, okay? Nobody can tell you what to do. Although I see a lot of you guys when you were kids wishing that you could be told what to do. What I mean by that is that a lot of you guys, even in moments, and I know a lot of you guys were stubborn as fuck, because I know I hear you guys like, Charlie, I wanted to make the rules. I wanted to be grown. I wanted to get out of my mama's house and my daddy's house. I wanted to do all this, but I'm just getting the energy, y'all, that all of that was just because you wanted a little bit of attention. And you couldn't get the attention by being the good girl or the good boy. You couldn't get that attention. Or maybe it's just like you want to help with homework, and it's just like, you know, you couldn't get that from your parents. Maybe they worked a lot. And God is literally telling me to call your attention to moments where it's like, that's where it started, but where is it ending? The seeking attention, where does it end? Because the only attention that you need is of your own. I remember when I was angry last night, I almost went back into a place of, well, he said some shit that hurt me. I should try to hurt him. And I was just like, but that's not even who I am anymore. I'm not even that person. And I would never do that, because it didn't make me feel better. Even me defending myself didn't make me feel better because of the anger. It just made me feel worse. And it's just like, I think that God is urging you guys in this moment now more than ever to get out, one, people-pleasing tendencies, but seeking attention, because you need your undivided attention. The only attention that you need is from you. And you don't have to do things that make you shine, because a lot of you guys shine all by yourself. It's kind of funny because some of you guys do things for attention in moments where it's like you're just lonely. And other times, there's some times where you really are shining, and sometimes you wish that people wouldn't look at you at all. It's a very interesting energy. Channel for collective. Let's see what's going on. The past is no longer comfortable. Move on. Some of you guys in this moment might be finding comfort in your past, past people. Some of you guys might be required to go back to your past in order to really be honest and honestly see, can I move on from this? Why did I find comfort in people pleasing? Why did I find comfort in seeking attention? Like, what was it for? Oh, it was because you were neglected. Well, how can we get rid of the neglected feeling? Can we try to, because I don't want y'all to work it away, because y'all don't try to do that. It didn't work. You tried to get in a relationship and that didn't work, because some of you guys felt lonely as fuck in that shit. So what else can you do for your neglect? Can we try therapy this time? Can we try to sit with it? Can we accept that we were neglected? And then can you release it? Taurus came out sideways. Some of you guys are very stubborn, and some of you guys, like, I really am ready to release it. But what happens when you actually release the neglect? Some of you guys are afraid to release it, because then what else will you have? But I like to urge that you would have a free of mind. Same thing with the anxiety. Where did it come from? Because you had to make decisions early on in your life. Maybe some that you never even were supposed to make, but you had to. You didn't have a choice. It's calling my attention to a story that my aunt had told me. And she told me, and she was adopted. It's actually ironic. She was adopted. And she told me that when her parents split, her dad became a really bad alcoholic. He was a bad alcoholic prior, but he became really bad after too. And she told me that there would be times where, you know, she would sit up at the bar and order her a Shirley Temple, and then after that she would go and pull him out almost every weekend when she went over there. And her brother was too scared, so she would just go alone. She said she might have been 5, maybe 6. Maybe some of you guys were grown before, just too grown before your age, but before you were supposed to. Responsible before you were supposed to be, to even know what responsibility was. As kids, we're supposed to be taught responsibility, but there's different forms, different ways. And then eventually that becomes your normal, until another adult stepped in and realized that it wasn't normal. And the adult was the one that told her mom about it. And then she had stopped going over there. Travel further. A lot of you guys in your moments are being urged to dig into your memories. And a lot of you guys have blocked out a lot of fucking memories. But this is where you guys evolve. This is where you change. This is where you feel your shit. I'm literally hearing you guys, oh yeah, I went to that carnival. I forgot all about that. And I remember that's when they forgot me at the carnival. I had to walk home. I remember when they forgot me at school, I had to walk home. That's not my reality. I don't know whose story that is. I'm sorry if that happened to you. It was giving me middle kid energy. That could be somebody's story. Being the oddball out. Do you ever remember that? Do you remember being bullied? I remember that there was this time, y'all, when I was in 4th grade, and there was this group of girls, and I had one friend, and her name was Genesis. Ironic. We were friends, but her other friends didn't like me. I don't think that they liked me because they encouraged, when me and Genesis hung out, like we did kid shit. I think when her and the other girls hung out, like they were just bullies. I really think that's what it was. But then they turned Genesis against me. I don't even know for what, but I remember there was this day that I was walking across the soccer field, and there was this group of girls. It was like 5 of them, 6 of them, big girls, like huge. And y'all, even at that age, I had an anger issue, but because I was used to fighting. And I remember they were picking on me, and they were throwing their, like, my last straw was when they, like, literally squirted water on me. They were calling me names, but I shut that out because I don't remember what they were saying. But I remember they put water on me, and I stopped. And I was about to just swing, and I was just gonna because I was just gonna take the ass whooping. And God talked to me in that moment, y'all. I remember, I heard God say no. Like, I literally heard God say no. It's the craziest shit. And I was in 4th grade. He said no, because if you do this, it's going to end. It's not going to end in your favor. He didn't say those words. He just told me no, but I knew by him telling me no that it was God saying that this isn't the time. They're gonna get their karma. And I remember I went to the dean. I don't remember if it was the next day or days after. And I remember I just told about one of the girls because I didn't know the other girls' names, but I knew Leslie. And I told the dean, and I can't remember what he was, but he was like, Leslie? She wouldn't do that. And I said, but she did it to me. I said, okay. And then later, maybe a few months later, I saw Leslie in the Family Dollar with her parents. And I remember I was going to say something to her, and she looked at me, and she looked scared as fuck, and she said no. And so I didn't say anything. But now that I'm channeling Leslie's energy, I think Leslie had a lot going on at home that I didn't even know, that I'm not even aware of, that I wasn't aware of. I think Leslie was getting abused. And it kind of makes sense, but as a kid, you're just like, why are you picking on me? And I remember years later when I was still angry because that sat with me for years. I ended up, when MySpace was MySpace, I found, I don't even know how I found her, but I found her, and I was like, bitch, we can meet up and you can get your ass beat one-on-one. And she never responded. But I don't think she was supposed to. Because nobody could whip me in a one-on-one. And even when I did get in a fight, and there was a time that I lost, I was getting my ass beat the day before though. So I don't think it was a true loss. I don't feel like it was a true fight. Maybe you guys went through bullying too. And maybe you guys, just how I went through and I sat with it as an adult. And I just literally just ran through that whole scenario on how everything panned out. And I said, oh, channel message. Leslie did it because it was done to her. I forgive you, Leslie. And all those other girls too. But sometimes you have to sit with things to think it through, to let it go. But you have to feel it. Because a lot of you guys are not used to feeling things. A lot of you guys are not used to being honest and feeling it, because a lot of you guys are used to blocking it out in your mind. Virgo energy is out here. You're just supposed to analyze it and then release it. How you doing, Bree? Well, let's switch gears, y'all, because your ex is trying to pop out. Y'all ready to switch gears? Y'all ready to go on a higher note? Let's go on high vibrations. Y'all ready? That was a really good talk though, y'all. I feel like God has been having me go into deep shit, because I think it's all tied into one. But I'm gonna end this live how it is, because I want to upload this video how it is. But I'm about to go live again, y'all, so give me 2 seconds, okay?